straight back to Cape Canaveral, and the final touches are being put in place, including the astronauts getting prepared, final preparations, getting dressed, getting their kit sorted out. 4 astronauts, Victor Glover, Jeremy Hansen, Reed Wiseman, and Christina Koch, preparing to take part in the first mission to the moon's orbit, I think we should say. It's not landing on the moon, but certainly a mission to the moon's orbit in more than 50 years with a crew. It's due to launch in to 2324 BST, 1824 local time from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, which is in Florida, of course, which is where Thomas Moore, our correspondent, is. And Thomas, so final preparations. You were saying earlier the weather looks set, so could be that this launch is going to take place.
Yeah, well, there's just over 5 hours to go, and of course the launch preparations are very carefully timetabled. They have to run through 800 steps to bring the rocket to life, and parallel to that is everything that the astronauts have to do. So they're in their launch suits, those bright orange safety suits. They've had their weather briefing, not just of conditions here at the launch pad, but also the sea state at the contingency splashdown sites, where if there is a problem during launch, that capsule will land in the Atlantic Ocean. Everything looks good so far. They say that there is an 80% chance that they will find clear air during the 2-hour launch window. I have to say there is a blanket of cloud overhead at the moment, but hopefully that what is a fairly stiff breeze will blow that out the way. But they're also watching very carefully for any rain. If the cloud cover is too low, too thick, if there's any rain, that is a bar to launch. They won't be able to go. And that is what they are monitoring very, very carefully. Now, what happens next? Well, just before, well, in about 45 minutes, I would say, the crew will emerge. They will say goodbye to their families, the last chance to give them a hug. Clearly a poignant moment. This is a human story as well as one of technology, before they then get into the Astro van, this vehicle that drives them out to the launch pad, and they then go through a series of steps, going up the tower, going into the White Room, which is where the ground crew will be waiting for them to take them through the final stages of seating them in the capsule, strapping them on into their seats, putting on their helmets and that kind of stuff. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but the refueling, which was, of course, was the problem they had in the dress rehearsal with the hydrogen leaks, that seems to have gone really well. The fuel is now on board, and it vents as it warms up. That liquid begins to turn into gas, the oxygen and the hydrogen. So they have to keep topping it up, and that is the process they're going through at the moment. But there's no sign of a leak so far, and that's great news for a launch later.
Yeah, absolutely. Good news. And just to be clear about this, Tom, I mean, this is not a landing, but this is really what I suppose you could say preparing the way for a future landing.
Absolutely right. They need to be sure that the rocket and the spacecraft, the Orion spacecraft, with the European life support module that tags along behind, that all that is working really, really well. Now, they'll do some checks while in orbit around Earth over the first 24 hours of launch. Then they press the button and go for this, what they call a translunar injection burn. That gives them the speed to escape Earth's gravity and head for the moon. And it is during that flight that they will test the technology, be sure that the astronauts are protected, that they can fly to the moon in safety. There is a lot of work that still needs to be done to get them down to the surface on a future mission, because that's going to depend either on Blue Origin or on SpaceX coming up with a landing craft. And that really seems a long way behind schedule at the moment. But they are determined to do this in 2028, before the end of President Trump's term. He has set that target, and NASA is trying to deliver.